So international retail and how can you be successful in international retail, I think is one of the biggest subjects. The world is getting more and more global. We see e-com, we see web coming up, and this is without any borders. But at the same time we see a lot of retailers trying to be international and how difficult it is. We have heard a lot of them redrawing from their international expansion or even closing stores. We have seen international retailers who desperately try to become international, but very often they fail. So why do they fail, and what is so difficult to become international? What are the key success factors? What do you think, Johan?
Well, it's really interesting what we discussed before, that the customer is the era of the customer, where everything, in the good old days, so to say, we were the ones as a business that could dictate what the customers could get and in what stores they had to go and shopping. And now when everything in an omnichannel world, it's so available for everyone, it is actually the customer who's dictating our rules in our day-to-day business. And it's something that is very close to my heart is, for example, planning merchandising allocation. And it's even more important now that you go down to the basic rules of, for example, allocating not only according to, definitely never according to a surface, but always according to potential sales and the sales result that you want in that local market.
Johan, what do you think in terms of structure? What is the success factor for international companies?
Of course, you need to acknowledge the different structures and the setup in Europe. I do believe it's very challenging to drive another country from the home country head office, so to say. If you're moving from, if you're home country, then you need to go for a second country. You need to build up a structure with the right merchandise team, the right local team, the right sales manager teams. You need to adapt your global brand into something locally and get the best mixture of them all.
So I believe that, of course, having a very strong global vision and concept is important, but the most important is to adapt locally, and also the culture is very different, and you need to have the local people talking to local people.
And what do you think, Christian, then, in terms of digital and about, because it is also getting more and more global, more and more international without any borders. How do you see that affecting the retail?
What was impressive for me is how far the Chinese markets and the Chinese malls had gone in taking in customer knowledge about the customers and data about the customer and turning that into sales operations and taking care of the customer. And I think actually Europe is lagging behind China, of course, because the Chinese malls are very, very big. But I think we can learn a lot from the Chinese market, and what was interesting was the contacts we got.
So if I would conclude as an international retailer, I think first of all that you have to have a very, very good structure, meaning that you have to have a mix of centralized and decentralized structure. You have to have a lot of local knowledge. You have to have a concept that is very clear and very simple. And even if you adapt locally, there has to be one concept that is recognized everywhere. If it's IKEA or McDonald's or H&M, it looks the same everywhere, but behind the scene there are certain differences. And to handle that, that is what we have discussed here.